They say love is sacrifice, but if that's true, why does it sometimes feel like you're the only one sacrificing? You ever catch yourself standing in someone else's kitchen, cooking their favorite meal, holding space for their bad day, talking them through their existential crisis, and they don't even ask how your day went? And you tell yourself, well, they need me. And somehow in your head, that must mean that they love me. Actually, no, that's not love. That's unpaid emotional labor with your Sunday playlist playing in the background. We've all been there, confusing being essential with being valued. But let's pull this apart. Love is not about how much someone leans on you. Sorry, Bill Withers. It's about how much they see you when they don't need a damn thing from you at all. Love don't cost a thing. Let's be real. Being needed feels good. It feels like importance. It feels like security. It feels like love, right? Especially if you grew up in a household where being useful was how you earned attention. You cleaned the dishes? Gold star. You took care of your siblings? Praise. You took the chicken out the freezer this time? Man, give that boy a hug. So now you're an adult, and you're in these relationships where you're holding everyone else together. But who's holding you? And when someone says, I don't know what I'd do without you, your inner child just melts away like, finally, I'm safe, I matter. But the truth is, I don't know what I'd do without you is not the same as, I see you even when I don't need anything from you.
You're literally the only person I can talk to. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Oh, and he doesn't even follow her back on Instagram. Here's the truth. Being needed can feel like being chosen. It makes you feel special, useful, but it's often just being convenient. You can be their emotional 911 and still not make their close friends list. Being needed isn't the same as being wanted, and being relied on doesn't mean you're remembered. We've all known people who only text when they need advice, or when their plans fall through, or when they're lonely and you're their comfort person. That's not connection, that's consumption. And when we tie our worth to how much we can do for others, we start to fear what happens when we say no. Because then, who are we? You're not a therapist. You're not a fixer. You're definitely not a Target brand emotional support dog. Somewhere along the way, you stopped being a person with needs of your own and started being whatever made you useful to everyone else. Where does that come from, you ask? That pull to be everything for everyone, to be simple, easy, low maintenance, to be the person people count on even when it costs you? Maybe it began when love felt conditional, when being good got you praise, and having needs got you silence. So you learned, be helpful and you'll be needed. Be needed and maybe, just maybe, you'll be kept. Want to talk about it? Here are the 5 signs that you might be confusing being needed with being loved. Number 1, you feel guilty setting boundaries. Not uncomfortable, guilty. Like you've done something wrong just by protecting your peace or putting yourself first. Because deep down, you're not just afraid that they'll be upset, you're afraid that they'll stop needing you. And if they stop needing you, you're not sure they'll stick around. So you say yes when you really want to say no. You try to pour into others and offer warmth you don't even feel for yourself. You overextend, you overgive, you underrest, you underreceive. You make yourself easy to lean on while you're struggling to get out of bed every morning. And you call it love, because somewhere along the way, you started believing love means being available, being convenient, being selfless even if it costs you yourself. Like him, the guy who always plays the strong one, the I got you guy, the one everyone calls when they need something. He cancels plans to show up for his ex, talks her through her breakdowns, listens like it's not hurting him, and he tells himself, it's just being kind. But really he's terrified that if he stops being useful, she'll forget he ever mattered. And that's not love. Number 2, you're praised for being so strong, but hardly comforted for being in pain. They admire how you hold it together, but they never stop to wonder why you had to. You become the stable one, the capable one, the positive one, because there was no room for you to fall apart. So now when someone says, "You're always so calm," you smile because inside you're screaming, because strength became your survival, your personality, your whole damn identity. But what you really needed was someone to look past the performance and say, you don't have to carry it all by yourself. Number 3, they rely on you, but they don't reciprocate. You're the one that they call at 2 a.m. You know the sound of their panic. You show up when no one else does. You rearrange your whole life just to hold space for theirs. And when you start unraveling, silence. You send the vague, "I'm not doing so great" text, and they see it, but somehow playing catch with their cat becomes more urgent than your mental health. You don't get a call, you don't get a follow-up, you get a red receipt. They're so used to you being the safe one, the strong one, the available one. But when the roles reverse, they go missing, and somehow you're the one who ends up feeling guilty, just for not being okay. Number 4, you shrink your needs to keep the peace. Not because you're easygoing, not because you're chill, but because somewhere along the way you learned that needing less made you more lovable. So you swallow the small things. The comment that hurt you, the plan they forgot, the way they never really ask how you are. You trade honesty for harmony, not because it's right, but because it's safer. You start editing your feelings in real time, softening the truth, smoothing the edges, rearranging the discomfort into something easier for them to digest. And the worst part? They don't even notice, because you've made it look so effortless. But inside, you're folding, shrinking, vanishing beneath the version of you that's easier to love. And maybe they love that version, the quiet one, the agreeable one, the one that never asks for too much. But maybe you're starting to wonder, if you have to become less to be kept, is that really love at all? Number 5, when you're not helping, you feel worthless. This one hit. You don't just want to be loved, you want to be useful, needed, necessary, because somewhere down the road you learned that love had a currency, and yours was labor. The more you give, the more you matter. The more you fix, the more you're valued. So when you rest, you feel guilty. Sound familiar? When you say no, you feel selfish. When you're not solving something, you feel like you're failing. You're not just afraid of being left, you're afraid of being useless. Because if you're not holding everyone else together, if you're not the one people lean on, then who are you? You've built your worth like a resume, emotionally available, highly dependable, willing to self-abandon for the good of the team. But love isn't a job, and you deserve a connection that doesn't come with a cost. Being needed can look a lot like being loved. It can feel like a purpose even. This usually isn't random. It comes from the way we were taught to define love. For some of us, love meant responsibility, caretaking, adapting, anticipating everyone else's needs. You learned to overfunction before you even knew what that word meant. You were the mature one, the one who held it all together, even when it wasn't yours to hold. And when that's how you grew up, love stops being something you receive and it becomes something you earn. Real love. It doesn't require you to fix things to be valued. It doesn't disappear when you need a break. And it doesn't confuse your service with your soul. You deserve the kind of love that doesn't flinch when you rest, that doesn't collapse when you say, "Not today," that isn't threatened by your boundaries. You deserve love that exists even when you're not useful.
I don't need anything. I just like you here.
Wait, you don't need me?
Nope, I want you.
That's the shift. From what you do to who you are. From earning your place to being welcomed in it. Maybe no one told you this before, but love isn't something you prove by being less of a burden. You are not here to be easy, or quiet, or low maintenance. You are here to be known. You are here to be loved, even when you're not solving someone else's problems, even when you're not holding it all together. You don't have to earn your keep. You just get to be here, and that's enough. You don't need to be needed. You deserve to be loved. Actually, no. If you still feel like you need to do something to be loved, you could always hit the subscribe button. Subscriptions are my love language. I'll see you in the next one.